Welcome to Lockwards. My name is Professor ABUS Pentumblador and I will show you how to use the unlock and charm on some locks. We start with an ABUS A93, which is the current version of a very popular ABUS lock, the C73, that isn't produced after 2024. So the ABUS A line follows the C line. ABUS ranks the A93 with 6 out of 10 security level points, and here's why. In the first two chambers there are hardened steel pins as an anti-drill feature, and in chamber 3 to 5 there are different security pins, which I will show you in the end. The keyway is paracentric, and the key bidding is quite challenging because of very high and low cuts. Besides that, there's a dual clutch which allows you to leave the key in the one side and use the other side separately, which of course isn't relevant for lockpicking. The LPU belt list ranks the C73 in the green or blue category depending on the pinning. The A93 isn't ranked yet, but I would suggest an equal ranking because the locks are very similar to each other, and in my opinion the A93 is slightly harder to pick because of less obvious feedback. For picking I use a medium deep hook from Multipick, and for tensioning I use the top of the keyway tensioner in 1.2 mm, also from Multipick. Let's try to pick the lock. Key works fine. And I start in the front. Nothing on 1. Something on 3. Little click on 3. Some clicks on 4, which, as Miss Granger would know, is a hint for serrations. Same for 5. 1, 2, 3 feels solid. Five is binding, but it doesn't click. No. 1, little click there. 2 clicked. Nothing on 5. Nothing on 4. Okay, we missed something. Something on 1. Tiny movement. Three, 4, little click there. 5 feels set. And the lock. The lock is open. For gutting, I use the disassembly kit from Hack, which I think everyone in the community owns, which is surprising because the kit isn't that great, but it provides you with everything you need. Almost everything. For removing the C-clip, I use the Sparrow C-clip remover. Which works fine. Here goes the C-clip. And the pinning shoe is quite floppy, but it does its job. And here's the car. And I also use the front loader from Sparrows. So that was part of the clutch. That's another part of the clutch. And we start in the front. That's a standard pin on one, the steel one. I hate springs. And here's chamber 2. Also steel one, standard pin. Damn magnetic pins. And here's chamber 3. Brass in that case. I should add more light. And another spring. And there's number 4. And here's number 5. So we look at the key pins. 1, standard. 2, also standard. 3. Looks like a gin bottle, but I don't think that's possible for key pins. So I think it's a spool. That's 4 with serrations. And here's 5. So I hope you can see it from there. 1 and 2 are only standards in steel. 3 is, I think Lockknoop calls it T-pin spool pin, and on 4 we have serrations in the key pin, and 3 is different. I think it has a very sharp ending, looks like a gin bottle pin, but I think it's a spool. And in 5 we have a T-pin as a key pin, nice poem there, and serrations on the driver. So that's everything for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something about the A93. I look forward for our next lesson in lockwords. Take care and practice the Allura Mora.